Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Breaking news, Tottenham have sacked Nuno Santo after just 4 months in charge. Now Tottenham are in talks to appoint Antonio Conte today after late night talks. So reflecting on all of that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer survives. Conte has been linked with the job at Manchester United. He's also been linked with the job at Barcelona. Now, not so long ago, it said from Sky Italy that Manchester United made initial contact with Antonio Conte, and it did say that Conte wants the Man United job, but it said the Man United board are not keen. Conte did say the other week that he has reservations about the club's structure. I'm disappointed that we're missing out on Conte because, revert back to what I said before, Conte is a far superior manager to Solskjaer. Conte's got a very good pedigree behind him, won a lot of silverware in his home nation, and in his first season at Chelsea he won the Premier League. So he has managed in the Premier League before, so that's beneficial. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. But prior to the Tottenham game, it said that Manchester United lose interest in the expensive Antonio Conte as Solskjaer gained a lifeline. The Daily Star said Conte would have demanded a contract until 2025 worth an estimated 18 million a year. Before the Tottenham game, there was rumours about Brendan Rodgers coming to Manchester United. Mark Ogden came out and said that Brendan Rodgers is a potential replacement for Solskjaer, and it did say that Man United want Brendan Rodgers over Antonio Conte. There's been some Manchester United fans demanding Zinedine Zidane in, but we won't get Zinedine Zidane because reports from Spain said not so long ago that Zinedine Zidane is not interested in becoming Manchester United manager. He said he's enjoying life away from football management. I presume some pressure has eased off Solskjaer, reflecting on that 3-0 win against Tottenham last Sunday. Solskjaer did say after that game that the experience was key to Man United's win over Tottenham. And Solskjaer hints that the Cavani and Ronaldo partnership will be staying. In the game against Tottenham, Solskjaer deserved credit for his tactical changes. Solskjaer went with the 3-5-2 formation. So reflecting on that, he copied Antonio Conte. I'd love Solskjaer to go with that 3-5-2 formation on a regular basis, but Solskjaer's going to find it difficult to stick with that formation. But it was a good performance against Tottenham, and it was a crucial victory for Solskjaer. Because if Manchester United would have lost to Tottenham on Sunday, there'd have been a good chance that Solskjaer would have been sacked. Manchester United responded really well from the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool last week. Prior to the Tottenham game, it said Solskjaer has been given 3 games to save his Man United job, so obviously one of them games has now gone. Manchester United's next 2 games are at Atlanta in the Champions League, that's tomorrow. Then we've got Manchester City this Saturday, which is a huge game. Don't forget, Manchester United will have to pay Ole Gunnar Solskjaer £7.5 million if they decide to sack him. Because in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract until 2024. There's an option of a further year, and we made a mistake giving Solskjaer that contract, because I can assure he won't see it out. Despite the win against Tottenham, I am still Ollie out, and I presume there's a lot of United fans that are still Ollie out. I can't change my perception on a manager after just one game. If Man United were to build on that result against Tottenham and go on like a 9, 10, 11 game winning run, then my perceptions would start to change on Ollie. But like I've said to you before, when results aren't going our way and when we're inconsistent and when we've been inconsistent, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. There's also players that have to take responsibility for those poor performances and poor results. It's never just all the manager's fault. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. And I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. And I just feel as though that the expectations are far too high for Solskjaer to exceed as Man United manager. And I just think Solskjaer is in a position that he shouldn't be in. And I don't think Solskjaer's capable of winning trophies as Manchester United manager. I hate to say this regarding Solskjaer because I do adore him, but I'm just being realistic. Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. I want Solskjaer to succeed as Manchester United manager, just like all Man United fans do. I am surprised he's still Manchester United manager, but the reason he's still Manchester United manager is because he's a legend of the club. That's what saved his job. Disregarding being a legend of the club, I can assure he wouldn't have been here by now. If Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager, in December he'll be celebrating 3 years in charge of the club. But my biggest concerns about Solskjaer is his decision making, that's one. Because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. And my other big concern about Ole is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. Before Manchester United, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. And before Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was terrible. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got Cardiff relegated. He only enjoyed a short tenure with them. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018. In Solskjaer's first 3 months, he was the interim manager. And he did very well as the interim manager. He won like 14 games out of 19 in all competitions. So reflecting on that, the club decided to give Solskjaer the job on a permanent basis. There is positives regarding Ole. I think in certain aspects he has brought consistency back. I like the way he develops the youth. That's another positive. I think Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, Solskjaer has signed 14 players. In the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odin Igalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Edison Cavani in, Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Tom Heaton in, Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane and re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We've spent around 441 million under the Solskjaer era. And Solskjaer's enjoyed like 5 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. You know, he's loaned players out, he's got rid of players permanently. So the players he loaned out in this year's summer transfer window, he loaned Brandon Williams out, Andres Pereira, Ethan Laird, Axel Tuanzebe, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. The players Solskjaer's got rid of permanently, obviously sold Daniel James in this year's summer transfer window. He was the only player Manchester United sold in this year's summer transfer window, so that was disappointing from a Manchester United perspective. Ole also released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. He also offloaded Borthwick Jackson and James Wilson. In January, he offloaded Igalo, Fossa-Mensah and Rojo. Ollie's also let players like Young go, Valencia go, Smalling go, and that trio were long-serving players at the club. Also offloaded Darmian. He offloaded Fellaini back in January 2019, offloaded Angel Gomez, offloaded Herrera, offloaded Lukaku and also offloaded Sanchez. So there you go. And you can say that some progress has been made under Solskjaer, because Solskjaer's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Last season he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Last season he got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. And last season he got us to the Europa League final. And that was his first major final as Man United manager. But unfortunately we didn't win it. So there you go. And in Solskjaer's first full season got us a 3rd place finish. And in his second full season, which was last season, he got us a 2nd place finish. So what Solskjaer produced in his first full season, in his second full season, he's looking to build on that this season. Revert back to what I've said on my recent videos. We've also extended a lot of players' contracts under Ollie as well, and Manchester United also went on a 29-game unbeaten run away from home in the Premier League. It was Leicester that ended our unbeaten away run in the Premier League. Manchester United have been far superior away from home than at home. But I think, in reality, Manchester United should be winning the league this season. Or at least challenging for the league, because Manchester United have got a title-winning squad. Plus, Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year, spent around £141 million. You know, Solskjaer received very strong backing. John Murtough's backed him, Darren Fletcher's backed him, Ed Woodward's backed him, and the Glazers surprisingly backed him, but only because they'd been persuaded to. So reflecting on that, Solskjaer has run out of excuses. You know, if Solskjaer does get sacked, he'll be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson, because Manchester United have already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson sacked David Moyes, sacked Louis van Gaal, and also sacked Jose Mourinho. And Manchester United are not even really known as a sacking football club because we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers. Manchester United are, 5th in the Premier League at the moment. But like I say, Manchester United have got some very, very good players. Obviously, we've got the best player in the world overall in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo rescued Solskjaer against Tottenham. Ronaldo scored a very good goal in the 3-0 win against Tottenham. He executed the volley to perfection, and it was from a tight angle. That's 7 goals for Ronaldo in all competitions since he re-signed. Ronaldo got an assist against Tottenham. That's his first assist since re-signing. And Ronaldo also had a disallowed goal in the game. Ronaldo played in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool the other week. Ronaldo had a disallowed goal in that game. He was lucky not to be sent off against Liverpool for kicking Curtis Jones. Ronaldo scored the winner against Atalanta the other week, so he saved us in that game. He scored the winner against Villarreal earlier on this season. We are relying too much on Ronaldo, to be fair. Ronaldo played in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester earlier on in the season. He was anonymous for the vast majority of that game. Ronaldo tried to storm off the pitch in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester, but Solskjaer stopped him. Prior to that game, Ronaldo informed Solskjaer that he wants to play in every single league game. Don't forget, back in September, Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month. I'd love to see Ronaldo and Cavani playing together on a regular basis. They played together against Tottenham, and that was very intriguing. Really, really was. Ronaldo has got a contract with Man United until 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. Ronaldo wears a number 7 shirt. Man United got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. Now we've got Mason Greenwood, that's also a very good player. Greenwood has scored 4 goals in the league so far this season. He scored a stunning goal in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester earlier on in the season. Greenwood didn't play any part against Tottenham recently, so I think he'll be in contention to play against Atalanta tomorrow night in the Champions League. Greenwood did play in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. I thought he was our best player in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. He looked threatening every time he had the ball, got forward quite well, and he did have a good chance in the game, produced a good save from Alisson. At one point though, Greenwood did go a while without scoring, but despite that, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. He deserved the contract, reflecting on his good performances. Marcus Rashford, I've got to give him credit. I think he's done really well since he's come back. Apart from the Liverpool game, I thought he was very poor against Liverpool. But yeah, in the other games he's been consistent. Recently scored against Tottenham, came off the bench. It was a lovely breakaway goal. Side-footed it past Hugo Lloris. Rashford scored against Atalanta the other week. And he also scored in his comeback in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester. But after that game, Rashford's camp were unhappy with Solskjaer because don't forget Solskjaer told Rashford to prioritise his football instead of his off-pitch activities. Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while, and at one point Rashford had to have an operation on his shoulder. We do play Rashford on that left wing a lot, but we need to keep him there because that's where he's mostly effective. He's far superior on the left wing to the right wing and up top. Rashford's been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Rashford's got a contract with Man United until 2023. You've got Edison Cavani. That's also very good. You know, Cavani scored a good goal against Tottenham recently, dinked it over Hugo Lloris. It was a superb pass from Cristiano Ronaldo. Cavani should have scored in the first half against Tottenham. He had a very good headed chance, but it just went wide. I don't want Cavani to leave Manchester United next year, but unfortunately, I think he is going to leave. Cavani's got under a year left on his Man United contract. Back in May, Cavani signed a 1-year contract extension and he's on over £200,000 a week. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG. He also was a long-serving player at PSG. Jadon Sancho, he's also a good player as well, but like I spoke with you yesterday, he's endured a very poor start to his Manchester United career. And reflecting on that, fans have been starting to get on his back. But I think Solskjaer is to blame for Sancho's poor performances because when Solskjaer's played Sancho, he's persistently played him out of position. He's put him on that left wing. Yes, he can play on the left wing, but he's far superior on the right wing to the left wing because the right wing's his predominant position. He can also play Sancho centrally. But there's been quite a few games that Sancho hasn't even played, and he played no part against Tottenham recently. It does take some players time to settle in though, and I said Sancho will do well at Man United providing that he's used correctly. Earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Dortmund's CEO came out and said that Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. We got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included. He's under contract with Man United until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Sorry guys, still got a bit of that cold. You got Bruno Fernandes, that's also very good. You know, Bruno Fernandes is one of our best players and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Fernandes played against Tottenham recently. His contribution for both goals was absolutely world class. Fernandes also played in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool the other week. He had a good early chance in that game, but he skied it, and he should have done much better with that. Bruno Fernandes starts the vast majority of Manchester United's games. And he's been consistent in a lot of games for Man United, but on the other side of things, there's been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. Fernandes has been a Manchester United player for almost 2 years now. We got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. And last season, Fernandes won Player of the Year and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Earlier on in the season, Fernandes did make it clear that he wants to stay at Man United. And when he first came in, he said he wants to win trophies. Earlier on in the season, it did mention that Fernandes was close to signing a new 5-year contract with Man United worth £250,000 a week with the signing of Ronaldo. At the moment, he's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. You've also got Donny van de Beek. That's a good player. But revert back to what I've said before, haven't had much of a perception on him at Manchester United. Because Donny van de Beek hasn't been given enough game time. And I've said, Solskjaer has to start Van de Beek, especially in the Premier League, because he's a good player. Van de Beek played no part against Tottenham recently. Prior to the Liverpool game, Solskjaer did admit that Van de Beek is frustrated and disappointed over his situation at Old Trafford. I don't think Solskjaer wants Van de Beek at Man United. If he wanted him there, he'd play him on a regular basis. Van de Beek's endured a difficult 18 months at Man United. And this season is his second full season. Man United got Van de Beek for 40 million, with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. You've got Paul Pogba, that's a good player. Not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. Pogba didn't play against Tottenham recently. He can't play at the moment, Pogba, in the league because he's suspended. He's now got 2 games to serve. Pogba can play against Atalanta because that's the Champions League, not the Premier League. Pogba got sent off against Liverpool, didn't he, for that 2-footed challenge on Naby Keita. Pogba didn't start against Liverpool, but he come on as a sub, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for not starting Pogba against Liverpool because I thought he should have started. It looks like Paul Pogba's leaving Manchester United anyway next summer on a free, because Mark Ogden recently said that Manchester United are prepared to let Paul Pogba leave on a free transfer next summer after accepting that he will not sign a contract. Pogba wants Solskjaer sacked, according to Fabrizio Romano. Pogba recently snubbed Solskjaer after Liverpool defeat, and reflecting on that, contract talks were put on hold. Obviously then, Paul Pogba came out and rubbished the report to Solskjaer. So far this season, Pogba's got 7 assists in the league, so he's done well, and he produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season as well. You've got Luke Shaw, that's also a good left back. Luke Shaw played very well against Tottenham. I thought he provided the width well. He showed some good attacking intent, got in some good positions, and defensively he was good. That's probably his best performance so far this season, because disregarding the Tottenham game, I'd say he's been poor in a lot of other games. Luke Shaw was absolutely abysmal in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. He was accountable for 2 or 3 of Liverpool's goals. Luke Shaw was superb last season, wasn't he? But I think now, reflecting on that good performance against Tottenham, he will now persist with them good performances. I said as the season goes on, he'll regain his form. Luke Shaw's been our first choice left back for a while, and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Telles. Shaw has had a good career at Man United despite the injuries he's had and that. Not so long ago he came back from minor injury and illness. Shaw's been at Manchester United for 7.5 years, so he's been a long-serving player. Shaw's got under 2 years left on his contract. At one point he said we're in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. I think Telles is a good left back as well, but haven't had much of a perception on him at Man United because, doesn't really get a lot of game time. He's done well in the games he's played in, but Telles will only play when Luke Shaw's not available. I think there's a good chance Telles will go next year. Earlier on this season, Telles was out with injury. Man United got Telles for 15.4 million from Porto last year. And you've got Rafael Varane, that's also a very good centre-half. Made his return against Tottenham. He put a good performance out against Tottenham. He looked well composed at the back. And he brought the ball out well from the back. And I like the way he got forward. And, he was quite effective in the air. Varane was out with a groin injury for a few weeks. You've got Maguire, that's good as well when he wants to be. To Maguire's credit, I thought he played well against Tottenham, despite him getting a booking. I thought Maguire defended well, and he brought the ball out well from the back. Made up for the poor performance he put out against Liverpool. He was very poor against Liverpool. He was accountable for, 2 of Liverpool's goals. Maguire scored against Atalanta. Maguire was poor in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester, wasn't he? But he wasn't fully fit in that game, and Solskjaer shouldn't have played Maguire against Leicester. Maguire made howlers in the game against Leicester. Maguire had a calf injury earlier on this season. He had ligament damage in his ankle towards the end of last season. Bailly's a good centre-half as well, but Bailly's lost his place in the team. He lost his place in the team a while ago with the signing of Varane in the summer transfer window, and obviously Solskjaer prefers Lindelof ahead of Eric Bailly. Bailly's a much better centre-half than Lindelof. My only element of concern about Eric Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. And Wan-Bissaka's also a good right back as well. Give him credit, he played well against Tottenham recently. De Gea's also a very good goalkeeper, and Henderson's a good goalkeeper as well. But Henderson doesn't get his chances now. Henderson does want a loan move away from Man United next year. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.